Alright, back on our motor here. So I got a machinist case here for the motor mount here where I welded it all up. So originally I was just going to put this up on the milling machine and cut it. Come down until I just touch this surface here, but looking at this case here, this mount looks pretty smooth, but when you go over this mount over here, light, here it is. This is really rough over here. It looks like they ran a mill across it, but it's very uneven. Looks like I got a lot of trash under here. My guess is the motor was loose in the frame. Shoot it up on that side. This side here is tight, so it's nice and flat. This side here is very uneven here. I don't know if you can see the low spots. This one over here is a little bit better, but not as bad. It's still got a lot of low spots in there, which has been rubbed on hard. So instead of just welding that one or fixing the one side I welded on, I'm gonna go ahead and bolt these together and recut both these motor mounts so they're the same. So now I got to put the cases together and do a little bit more work. That's how things go around here. Gotta do a little extra work. If you want to do a good job, gotta do it right. Alright, I already filed this case flat. If you work on the motor, always make sure your surfaces are flat. I put pressure on the file here in the middle. I also know this file is flat this way and not this way. It bevels up. The file has a slight bow going like this right now. If you go like this, like it is on this side, it digs in here and here, and this is your high spot where it doesn't hit. So if you push it down flat, it'll bend flat, but it cuts on the outside edge. This way here, when it bows like this, when you push right here, it cuts only right here. It doesn't dig on the outside edges. So it actually is flatter. These have a little bit of a twist to them also. So you always got to check your file and see which way is hardly work the best. Then you mark it so you know which side to cut with. Very important. And when you file in the case, you can see where the high spots are by where the light reflects. So the biggest thing was there was no burrs there, I heard. When you hear a burr, you hear a sharp ring for a couple strokes until it goes away. The surface is very uneven, you can hear it. We have a stupid cover on there, no primary, so it doesn't really matter. But it's not even close to being flat. This side here is. Okay, go ahead and bolt them together. Make sure that they fit halfway close. You can't slide them easily. There's something digging in. I can feel something digging in on this one. So something is not happy. Sure it is. Weld on both of these. Could be just a matter of some junk in the parting lip there. You have a register here where it goes in the case. It might have some trash in there you're picking up. A little bit better. You can feel it's not exactly flat, but it's not digging in like it was. So you probably have a little bit of a burr, something, or not burr, but a little bit of trash in there or something. These type rags are crap for doing machine now. The chips stick to them real bad. Garbage. These ones over here work all right. They don't have that real fluffy crap all over them, so they work better. The old traditional rags like this work really well because they don't dig into stuff as much. So you don't want to be putting a bunch of chips in here. They don't work very well for cleaning stuff. Okay. I already blasted all these things and painted them all that, but That's going to get destroyed a little bit now. Okay, you got to find your dowel studs. So this is one here. Dowel stud has a step here where it's bigger diameter right here. Except that doesn't feel like much of a diameter change, but it has to be. So these two here are the dowel ones. These two go on the bottom. These will line the case up so that everything lines up correctly. They go in tight too, like they're supposed to. Not super tight, but tight. Then the other whole dowel area is this one up here, which is a straight 5/16 stud or bolt. Usually it's a stud. In this case here, these are all bolts, so it's not a stud. The little short one here goes in the back, right there. So these three are identical. So 1, 2, 3. So this one goes in tight. That's your dowel. This one falls in. This one's supposed to fall in, but it doesn't. So it goes in a little bit pressure. Now this lips here, this surface should be nice and flat if everything is square. And so should this surface here. So, and you look at your bore also. If you're seeing evidence of this being mismatched here, the cases are not matched. There's something wrong. Okay, let's get a bunch of nuts and washers here. We'll see what goes to what. When you tighten these up, you tighten up your dowel studs first. They're the ones that are most important. Aren't the best there. Okay, tighten your two big bolts. Also. Got the correct hardware in there. Okay, now you feel it, see how bad things are. So all these surfaces should be lined up pretty damn close right now. They seem to be halfway decent. That's a good sign. Now we can do our other bolts. Stupid lock nuts. So you have a certain procedure I tighten or start out the way. I have a little bit of a torque pattern I use there. There you go, all tightened up. So basically you torque your two dowels here, top dowel there, one bolt, two bolts. Then you got the three studs left. You got this one, and this one. I always tighten either this one or this one next, and then I do this one over here last, a little small one. So just trying to keep it all relatively even as you torque and stuff down, so you don't get too far out. A little bit better view. So you want to try to make everything pull together nice and evenly. And like I said, you want to make sure these surfaces are square, like they're supposed to be, like they're cut that way, because they should. So if they're not repeating, you have problems. You need to fix those problems. Okay, now we cut the case. Now we'll cut all the way across these surfaces right here and clean up this whole surface all the way across. And there's supposed to be an offset between this mount and this mount. Some books say 2 inches, some say 1/950, some say 1/980. So somewhere in that 50 thou range is where it's supposed to be. I can't get a consistency on what is stock. Every time you do a case, it's different. So I don't think Harley knows what they cut stuff at. They did what they wanted to do, as usual. Okay, so now I gotta get our milling machine set up. So come off with a big angle plate. Big boy. All right, wipe it down. Sit it around for a while, make sure there's no chips on it. Run across your table. If anything's on there, it slides out. It slides nice and easy, so we're good. Nuts over here, I can use them. All right. Got it overhanging off my table, so I got room to hold the case easily. Past experiences, that's where you need to be. Don't walk away until you get a nut on it. It will hurt you if it drops on your foot. Plus it damages it. Over there. Okay, put that on like that. All right, here we go. Now we determine how we're going to hold this thing. So this surface here is not usable in this case because it's all damaged. So that only leaves this surface. These dowels get in the way, so I gotta see if I can luck out. Probably won't. Or I can use it. We'll wind up having to pull a dowel or two. Usually wind up pulling both. Yeah, we'll see. Yep. They're both gonna be a problem. What a shocker. So you can clear one or the other, but not both. Alright, they're both coming out. Figured as much. Time for a dowel pin puller. That should be way up there someplace. Yep. Dowel pin puller. Let's see you get them from you need one. Goodson. Alright, these are pretty straightforward tools. It's basically a slide hammer. Your shaft, got the hammer action, got your sleeve, and you got to pick your dowel. Call it. That one. Yep. If we're lucky, these will come out. So this you just beat it on with the hammer, and then you knock it out with a hammer. This is how you get disengaged with this tool. Okay. let's see if we look out here. Beat it down like that. And you go slide up. If the dowel stays, you got a problem. We got a problem. Not enough to bite on. Yeah, neither one comes out. Alright, so much for being easy. I'm going to do the old-fashioned way. Use a torch, warm the case up, and try to get them out again. Heat is always helpful on expanding metal. Alright, let's set it over here on the torch now. Back and forth, that's all we do around here. Okay, right there. If this doesn't work, you put a vice grip on and get off that way if you can. Sometimes that doesn't work either. Usually one of these methods works. So you heat that case up with a torch, a couple hundred degrees max for now, and then we build it to 450 if we have to. Try not to heat all in one place. A lot of metal right there, that's where the heat will break through here if you don't heat this area up. A lot of it down here. This area will break through here if you don't heat that all. Basically, wherever it's thin, heat it up more than the rest of it. Then it won't break. Stuff to heat out real fast too. Heat up right there. Cut it out quickly. There it goes. Came out that time. The harder you hit on the case like that, it actually indents the case and damages it. So don't hit it any harder than you have to. That was hard enough. I'm going to go over and do this side again. Try not to heat one place like this too much. I'm going to get that warmed up in that one area so I get the dowel out. Nope. No again. It's pretty heavy hitting here. I don't want to keep whacking out that hard. It's a pretty hard hit. Let's try these fancy pliers, see if they help. These have pretty sharp edges, so maybe they'll dig in good. If you get the twist, we can get it out. Heard a twist, did you hear it move? Oops, it's hot. Probably this plier scratched the gasket surface too. Okay, what's moving, so maybe we can bite on it hard enough now to get it to come out. Try again. Nope. Enough to hold on. Try one more time. That's it. Now here it goes. Now I'm going to get more abusive with it. Try to protect the case with a screwdriver. It'll also give you a little bit of a ramp to pull up on. The correct direction of rotation. As usual, it takes 3 hands to do anything. So I'm twisting and pulling up with the screwdriver right here at the same time under it. Seems to be working. It is coming out slowly. There it goes. Cut it out. It did not help the dowel pin any though. It pretty well screws up the dowel pin to put back into the case. You can beat that back in, but that will screw the case up. So that's pretty well trash. And the damage we do to the case is more than I like to see, but it's not super bad. I didn't put any scratch in there, but you can see the indent in there where it pushed on it pretty hard there. Made a low spot. So, anyway, that's what it takes to get them out of there. They don't always come out very easily. Or what they are. Okay, turn your welding gas off. If you leave your bottles on, they make a mess. Then I like to purge the lines. Set another fan up here. Gauge get to 0, they're purged. Fumes go outside. Alright. So this is now warmed up. It means it wants to burn me when I hold on to it now. We'll leave those tools there for later. I get to go over here and finish setting this up. This thing squared up here, our angle plate. Whoop, over here. We want to get this square to our table. So use our little dial indicator right here to do that. Rust down there. Some moisture up on my table, I guess. Okay. So to make this job easier, what I do is you tighten up your pivot point, which is this one over here. And these ones over here, which are your drag points, you just put a little bit of pressure on these, not too much. Just make sure this one's fairly tight. So So you beat on this with a hammer, it'll pivot right here, so it goes in and out, so you can catch it. You can follow the indicator easier. So you start right here with a number and you bring it out and you try to keep the number the same as you come out. You can make sure this is past this edge right here, which looks like it is. Okay. Crank this out as far as we can go. Close enough. Okay. So we're going to put that on 15 right there. And we're going to put this on power mode. I'm going to watch and see what happens. So it's getting lower, so we're losing. We can whack this over to 15 where we were started at. Okay, we're about 16 right now. We'll run it back. See if it moves over here. Okay, looks like we moved a few thous, so we can go ahead and go that direction. Okay, so we're at 15 again. We'll redo this again right here. A little bit too far on this case. About there. Okay, we're about 15. About straight down. We're losing the dowel again. That's because I hit the table this way. Okay, so I'm going to redo it again. Okay, right there. So we got this time. Okay. Just under 15. Okay, we're within a half a thou. That's about 6 inches of movement. That's enough. Half a thou and 6 inches is pretty close, actually. So now we know our table is square. Our angle plate's square. Okay. So now we can bolt our case onto that. We'll have a nice square surface to work to. And hopefully we're on the right side. I hate when I got flipped around the other way. Get that out of the way so we don't break it.